Hey guys, welcome to another beginner-friendly WordPress tutorial. Today we're going to learn how to make an amazing website with WordPress for your business. This one is more geared towards business, finance, investment types of businesses. But what I want you to know is that if you change this picture and change these words, and you change this picture again to, let's say, something for gardening, this could actually work because you could actually put some flowers here, put some flowers here. That could work for gardening and landscaping and a florist website. So even though it's for business and finance at this stage and investment, you can pretty much use it for anything. The funny thing is that we also teach you how to do that in this tutorial. We also teach you how these colors, what looks so beautiful, come together to make an amazing website and brand that is going to communicate with your ideal client and customer. And we're going to learn everything from start to finish. Let's say you've never built a website in your entire life. You are going to leave this tutorial not only capable of building a website from scratch, you are going to learn how to get your domain name, you're going to get hosting, you're going to learn how to set up WordPress, how to get this website for yourself. You're going to learn how to select the best colors for your brand, how to set the colors on your website. You're going to learn how to get a logo for your website. You're going to learn some fonts and typography. But that's what most other channels do. What we do differently here is from the start, we are going to teach you how to build a website that is going to attract website visitors that you can then generate leads from. We're also going to link to some videos below that's going to help you get more leads from your website, help you with email marketing, help you to make some money from your website for your business. Now, the thing that I want you guys to notice is that this is a beautiful website. We are going to learn not only website development, we're also going to learn UX design, digital marketing, and everything in between. This is a beginner-friendly tutorial, like I said. If you've never built a website in your entire life, that's perfectly fine. You can go ahead and start this tutorial and get everything going. Before we get started, my name is Jabez Roberts. I am the founder and CEO of Zeilhan. If you're watching this tutorial, I assume you either need a website or you need leads for your business online. We have a free offer where we're taking on 5 clients, only 5 that's going to get our services for free for 1 month. How it works is that we're going to work for free for 1 month for you. If you like the service, you can continue with us and you can pay us afterwards. If you do not like the service, then you can just say, all right, you know what? This is not for me. I don't think you guys are worth it. And step away, no questions asked. We won't try to stop you, and we'll thank you for giving us the opportunity to serve you. Why am I doing this? Because I'm in Jamaica and I want to start serving the international market. I think the best way to serve is to do it for free, to show you that we are capable of doing what we would like to do for you. And then if we are worth the money, you can pay us. If we are not worth the money, you don't pay us. And then we can go back and improve our services, improve the value that we bring to you. The advertisement for that starts now, but you can skip ahead to the start of the tutorial if you don't want free website, free digital marketing, free business consultations, and our team working for you for free for 1 month, which is a no-brainer, I think. So let's get started. Thank you, guys. So your business needs an increase in revenues and more clients. Here's how we're going to do that for you. First, our professional website development team and our business consultation team are going to work together to replicate your business online. We're going to look at your business, we're going to study it, and we're going to rebuild it online so that you can serve your clients 24/7, even while your business is closed, while you are away from the office, and while you're perhaps even on vacation. This means that your website is going to keep your business open without giving you any additional work to do. The second thing we're also going to have to do for you is after we've rebuilt your business online, we need to focus on getting you leads, prospects, clients, getting you website traffic that is going to convert into revenues for your business. We're going to do this by combining PPC campaigns with email marketing. The PPC campaigns will get you the website visitors and people who are interested in your business. The email marketing will nurture these prospects into high-paying clients for your business. Every month, our professional business consultation team will sit with you to assess the performance of your business, of our marketing strategies, and to plan for the next month. So every month for the next 12 months, our team will be working with you to help you achieve your business goals. But it doesn't stop there. We are also going to protect your online business with AI-powered website security and a professional website security team owned by GoDaddy to ensure that your website is protected and in good standing at all times. We're also going to host, manage, maintain, update, and optimize your website and online business for you, meaning that we're going to rebuild your business online, run it for you, get you sales and clients, and not only that, we're also going to help you grow your physical business with our monthly consultations. The price is only $3,000 per month, but for only 5 clients, we're going to give you the first month free because we want to make it easy for you to give us a chance to help your business grow. So go ahead and use the link in the description below to have our team work for you for free for 1 month to help you generate more leads, clients, and sales for your business. All right, to get started, what we're going to do is we're going to get our domain name and we're going to set up our website hosting. The way we're going to go about this is not the way that they normally do it. And here's what I mean. In the description of this video, there's going to be a link to different website hosts. We're going to have Name Hero and a few others. What we're going to do is we are going to get our domain name from Name Hero. All right. So you're going to click on the link in the description. It's going to take you to Name Hero. Hopefully you don't have to go through reCAPTCHA like I have to go through here. And then it's going to take you to Name Hero. The domain name is going to be your .com, your .co, your .org. The name of your website, the website address. So google.com, namehero.com, that's the domain name. Most times it's going to be your businessname.com. So if your business is Pete's Pizzas, it's going to be petespizzas.com. And sometimes it can be .co.uk depending on what you'd like. And then after that, you're going to set up what's called hosting. Hosting is going to be the computer that is on 24/7 or the server that is on 24/7. That's going to make your website available across the globe. What we're going to do that's different, and I'm going to show you how to do it the regular way. We're not going to be using shared hosting, that is Name Hero. We're going to be using managed hosting, because the managed hosting solution we're going to be using is a little bit price flexible, but it offers a lot more power. What we're going to do here is that instead of using Name Hero for the domain name and the hosting, like most of the YouTube tutorials, we're going to go a little bit more advanced where we can use more advanced and better web servers like Amazon Web Service or Google Cloud, for example. Or we can go cheaper and use DigitalOcean or Vultr or Linode. And we're going to get this by using Cloudways. So here's what we're going to do. On Name Hero's homepage, namehero.com, we're going to click domains. We're just going to purchase a domain. So I'm going to type Zeilhan tutorials. And I'm not going to be using .com this time. I'm going to be using .co.uk. I know I am not in the UK. So we have .com. That's added from my previous session because I was trying to set up hosting. But don't worry about it. It's going to be the same process. What I want is .co.uk. So there are different domain names. We're just going to go with the .co.uk option because it is cheap. It's added to cart. Now I'm going to click on the cart. I am going to remove the hosting that is there. So it says here that if you plan on purchasing web hosting with Name Hero, and this is the most important part, because remember I told you that we're not going to be hosting with Name Hero in this situation. But if you're using Name Hero as a host, you click continue and then you can purchase your hosting and you can go from there. But we're not going to be using Name Hero. I am going to leave the name servers as is though, because I don't yet know the name servers for the host that I'm going to be getting. So we'll get that later. So this part right here, zeilhantutorials.com, is from the previous part of the tutorial that you guys probably won't see when I was trying to get hosting from Name Hero and it was not working. In another tutorial, I'll show you how to get Name Hero hosting. But right now it's not working. The checkout page is crashing. So let's hope it doesn't happen with the domain name. So zeilhantutorials.co.uk, email forwarding, DNS management, you can get those. This is just a tutorial for me. I don't need it, so I won't get them, but you can get them. You can read. It basically makes your website available faster and it makes you have all your emails in one inbox. Perfectly fine. Not a big deal for me. So we're going to continue. All right. So I don't need the .com. Let's remove that. No savings. We are going to create a new account. All right. So once you've created your account, all right, guys. So you're going to create your account, first name, last name, email address, etc., your billing address and all of that good stuff. Once you have created your account, you're going to go ahead and select your payment method, enter your payment details, all right? And you have read and agreed to the terms of service, and you check out. And that's what it's going to be. I already have an account with Name Hero. I think I'm going to go ahead and use that existing customer account because I just need a domain name. I don't need a separate account. When I'm doing the hosting tutorial for you guys again, then we'll get a new account. So I'm just going to use the existing customer login. I'm going to log in. Everything is as I'd like it. Read and agreed to the terms of service. And we are going to check out now. All right. So let's go ahead and check out. All right, order placed, continue to client area because we're going to need this section. Now I do have 8 domains here. I've had more, some are expired, some not so expired. We're going to click on domains. We are going to go all the way over to Zeilhan tutorials. Let me just make myself a little bit smaller. Zeilhan tutorials are co.uk. We are going to click on this one, click on it. And everything is as we would like it to be. No SSL, perfectly fine. We'll set that up very soon. So now that we have this set up, and remember guys, once you set up your account, you're going to want to go to your email address that you used, and you're going to want to get all the good stuff happening, like getting your confirmation code and everything like that. You can go ahead and do that. I already had an account. That's something I need to show you. Now for the hosting that we're going to be using this time is Cloudways. And Cloudways is it's something that I love because you can choose where you host your website, at which server. It can be Google Cloud, it can be Amazon Web Services for higher performance websites. So like my most important clients with like e-commerce platforms and so on, always AWS, always Google Cloud. Or you can go with something a bit more budget friendly. For this tutorial, we're going to use that. I'm going to be using Vultr. For now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a new account with Cloudways because I'm actually going to be getting website hosting. Now, Cloudways is very beautiful. I won't ramble on too much. We're just going to get started. So we're going to say start free. I am going to sign up with my Google account. You can just enter first name, last name, and so on. Everybody can do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use the Google method. So I'm going to click continue with Google. I'm going to select the email address. I'm going to continue. All right. So now I need to set a password. I'm just going to select a strong password. I will describe myself as I am a lot of things right now. So I'm going to say digital agency for this person. Yeah, I'm just going to say digital agency. My hosting spend is 50 to 250. I agree to the terms of service, privacy policy. I am going to continue. To activate your account, sign in. All right. So submit details. All right, guys, good news. So my Cloudways account has been activated. Woohoo! It took a few days, but I'll show you the process. So to get activated, you just need to go to cloudways.com. All right, so you apply for an account, then you actually go to cloudways.com. Let me get my chat out of the way, and it's going to be right there. And when you go to cloudways.com, you're going to click send a message. All right, send us a message. Go to verification. Once you go to verification, it's going to automatically apply with the instructions to get verified. So I literally did all of this. So I sent them the email account that I used to sign up. I sent them links to my Twitter and LinkedIn accounts. I sent them my company's website, which, Zeilhan.com. I sent them my ID. So I used my driver's license. And I also sent them my contact number. So I used 2 socials. I used my company's website. I used the email address, my driver's license, government issued ID. And within about 3 or 4 hours, I was verified. So we're verified. We are going to log in and activate. I understand the risks. Take me there. All right, this is good. So here's what we're going to be doing. Let's get started. Okay, so here it's telling us you can deploy more apps once your first server is ready. So to set up a WordPress install, we're just going to click next right here. And I'm going to call this, all right, go next. Actually, I need to name it first app. First app. I'm going to call this first server. And I'm going to call this startup project. I'm just going to install startup project. And we go next. So it's saying that I can only use DigitalOcean, AWS, and Google. So let's just go ahead, set up that. Select your desired server size. I'm just doing a test website, so I can just go with a 1 gig regular server, but most times you're going to go with a 2 gig high performance. All right, so I'm just going to go with my 1 gig regular server. Let's go next. So the location I'm going to use is actually Miami. If I can use Miami, it doesn't seem like Miami is one of the options. I'll just go with New York for now then. So try to a blazing platform with 3-day trial, no credit card. Yes, let's go on. I'm perfectly fine. You're all set. And so I'm going to launch now. And remember, this is a WordPress install. You can also go with a multi-site. So that's a WordPress multi-site, and you can go with a WooCommerce installation. So I'm just going to go ahead and launch now. So it's adding my server. All right, first server has been created. Our server is here. We have an application. So after you've made your server, this is the most important part. After you've made your server, so you're going to go to dashboard. We have a server right here. So we have a server installed. Here's what you're going to do next. You're going to click on your server. You're going to copy the public IP. You're going to log into your name here, client section. When you log into your name here, client section, you're going to go to DNS management. At DNS management, you're going to add at a record, and you're going to paste in the IP address and save changes. So this is what you'll have when you're done. Once you've done that, I want you to copy your website URL. I want you to go incognito and go to DNS checker. All right. DNS checker. You're going to paste in the URL. You're going to search the A records. The address that you see right here should be the same address from your Cloudways IP, and it should also be the same for your A record. And what DNS checker is basically saying to you, it is telling you that, all right, your website domain is available across the globe on this server. This is the IP address for your server. This is the A record for it. And that's all you need to do. If you go to Name Hero, or you go to your public register, your DNS, or you go to your domain name register, and they don't have the option to add the A record, open a support ticket, tell them that this is the IP address for your Cloudways server. You'd like to have them added to your domain so you can use Cloudways for your domain. Once that is done, you're going to go back to Cloudways. All right. You're going to go to your first app. This is your WordPress install. You're ready to use this. So you're just going to click on this. You have two URLs right here. You're going to have the application URL. If you click here, it takes you to the actual website. And if you click here, it takes you to the admin panel. You copy the login URL and you copy the password. You're going to paste it in and you can log in. So the next thing that you're going to do after you've seen the IP, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to copy the domain name. You're going to go back to Cloudways. You're going to go to domain management. The default, the primary is going to be this long, ugly URL that you can't share with anyone. You're going to do is you're going to add domain. You're going to paste in your URL, and then you're going to add domain. After you've added the domain, it's going to appear, but it's going to be here. You're just going to right click and make primary for the actual domain. Once that is done, it still won't work because you need to have SSL. You need to have an SSL certificate installed. So to install the SSL certificate, you're going to go to SSL certificate. Let's encrypt. You're going to use your email address. I'm just going to use one for the business, and you're going to paste in your domain, and you're going to install SSL certificate. Once the SSL certificate is installed, we're going to go to incognito. We're going to paste the URL. We're going to see if it works. And it works. Now to go to your admin address, you're just going to right click here. You're going to say WP admin. Once that happens, you're going to go back to Cloudways, access details, copy and paste your email address, copy and paste your password, and you're going to log in. And there you go. All right. The next thing we're going to do is we're just going to go to visit site and open that in new tab, because what we have right here is our website. Like, as you know, we can't just copy this URL and we can share it with our friends and family. We can say, look at our website. But as you might realize as well, this isn't This is much to write home about. Not a very good website by much standards. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this ugly little gremlin we see right here into the beautiful website we saw at the start of the tutorial. So how are we going to do that? Well, head over back to your dashboard, or if you're here, just go to my blog and dashboard. There are a few things we're going to have to do. The first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to ensure that when we put up our website, people can find it. It doesn't make sense we go through this process, build a beautiful website, and no one finds it, we make no money from it. All right, so we're going to do what's called search engine optimization, SEO, and just some basic SEO at this stage that's going to ensure that whenever we put up our website, people can find it and we can get clients from it. All right. So on the dashboard, we're going to go to settings and permalinks. Under settings permalinks, we're going to change from day and name to post name. And what this does is that it changes the URL structure to something that's a little bit more human friendly, meaning that as a person on the web, you can read the URL and have an understanding of what the link is about. And what that does for you, it increases what's called CTR, click-through rate. Click-through rate is important because you want to have more people, a higher percentage of the people who see your link, see your page, actually visit it, right? Otherwise, it makes no sense. So that's what this is going to do for you. It's also going to improve search visibility because, well, there's the robots from Google that goes on your website, and I think it's scrape is what they do. They scrape your website and they actually assess what your website is about. They'll have a better understanding of what your website and your web page is about just from this URL structure. So go ahead and do it post name. We're going to go to settings general next, and we're going to do a few changes. We're going to change the site title from my blog to your business name. In this case, I'm going to call it Zeilhan IT Services. All right. So then IT services, we're going to use a pipe. The pipe is that button above the enter key where the falling backslash is, not the forward slash, but the falling backslash. All right, you press shift and you press that on, press shift or command, and then you press that button. You're going to get the that key. All right, next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add some form of a description. And this description is going to be something that our ideal client would type into Google for our services to appear. So we're going to say IT services. We're going to say small business IT solutions, or IT solutions for small business, for small and medium-sized businesses. Or I think I'll go with IT solutions for small businesses in LA. I like using LA for some reason, like an area, service, and business name. So let's say IT solutions for small businesses. All right, so now we have that IT solutions for small business in Los Angeles. We're going to copy all of that, and that is going to be our tagline. Let's go ahead and paste it right there. We're not going to change our site icon. I hope you have an SSL certificate available. If you haven't have one installed, you can follow the tutorial from the start where we have on the hosting section to get a free SSL certificate. I'm going to keep the admin email. I'm going to keep the site language, but the time zone, I'm going to change to where I am currently. Currently, I'm in Jamaica, guys. So go ahead and change to your location. This will help with events on your website being posted in the time that you're familiar with, which can become very helpful. So I'm in Jamaica. All right, there we go. I like to use this time format, and biblically my weeks should start on a Sunday. That was the first day, and go ahead and save changes. All right, good. So we haven't had much changes taking place. If we reload here, we're going to change my blog. Not much happened, but structurally our website is better. No, what we're going to do is we're going to make our website beautiful. But before we can make our website beautiful, we need to use themes and plugins to do that. And we can't just go ahead and use them in this tutorial. We can, but what does it matter if you're not learning, right? So we have to help you understand what's happening. Themes and plugins. The best way I like to explain themes and plugins is by using the smartphone. And the reason why I use a smartphone is because this is an Android smartphone. And on the smartphone, there are a few apps. There's TikTok, WhatsApp, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. These are the apps that are popular these days. Perhaps a banking app, perhaps some form of a video app. Well, there is YouTube, for example. So apps are on the smartphone. And the apps add features and functionality to the smartphone. Very, real cool, right? And there's a notification. What you need to know is that adding apps to your smartphone is similar to adding plugins to your website, in that adding plugins to your website add features to your website, all right? And you can add many plugins to your website, and you can add many many apps to your website. We're going to learn about themes as it relates to smartphone a little bit later. But for now, let's learn how to add and remove plugins. All right. To add and remove a plugin, you're going to go back to your dashboard. You're going to go to plugins, and we can take a look at our installed plugins. Now, as you realize, we can update this plugin. Let's go ahead and update it. Just as though you can update your apps, please update all your plugins. For the plugins, and this is a security tip, for the plugins that you're no longer using, go through the process that we're about to teach you and remove them. All right. You're not going to see WP Server Security on your dashboard. And there's a reason why. And that's because we've added this for the sake of the tutorial. Protect the website while we made the tutorial. Really cool. So what you're going to notice is that this says security, anti-spam, and malware scan, meaning that this plugin adds security to our website. So what you can do is you can add your own plugin by going to add new plugin, and whatever features that you're looking for. Right here, we see a list of plugins. What you can do is you can use one of these plugins, or you can go to popular, or the best way is just to search right here. Let's say that we are doing an IT company, so we might want to have lead generation on our website. So just type lead gen. And we're going to learn lead generation. As a matter of fact, there's a tutorial somewhere hovering above your head right here, where you can learn how to do lead generation on your website. So that's something that you can do. And it says here that there is one opt-in monster, which is pretty cool. So you can just go ahead and click install. Now, here's the thing. After you've installed your plugins, you also have to activate them. So just go ahead and hit activate right here, or you can go to install plugins and click activate. After you've activated the plugin, you can go ahead and configure and set it up. I'm not going to do that because it's just a tutorial. You can configure and set up your plugin, and you can go from there. Now that we've learned how to add a plugin, let's learn how to remove them. Very easy. Go to plugins, install plugins. On your install plugins page, you're going to deactivate the plugin that you want to delete or remove. After it's deactivated, I'm going to use a bulk action, but you can use delete. I'm not going to remove this one, but the bulk action is going to be delete, and we are going to remove our plugins. Beautiful. Now, the next thing that we need to learn about is themes. Now, as you realize, I used a smartphone example a little bit earlier. And in the smartphone example, I said that on a smartphone, you can add different apps. But here's the thing. This is an Android smartphone. What about an iPhone? Well, here's how this gets interesting. The operating system like Android OS and iOS is very similar to the theme of your website. Now, something you're going to realize is that this iPhone feels different from an Android, and that's the operating system. Now, while the theme isn't necessarily the operating system on your website, it's very, very close to it. It's like the core function or the core program for your website besides WordPress. And what the theme does is that different themes will let things look differently. So iPhone will have a different look in WhatsApp at times than the one on Android. And that's all there is to it. So what we're going to do is you're going to learn about themes. To actually view your themes, you're going to go to appearance and themes. The theme is the main reason your website looks the way it looks. So currently we have the 2025 theme activated. You might have another theme activated. And when that happens, your website might look a little bit different. No worries. We're going to notice that we also have the 2024 theme. And if we live preview this theme, this is how our website looked when we used the 2024 theme. Very different and still not exciting, but still a different look. So the theme changes a lot, right? So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and remove these themes that we're not using. We're going to keep one of them. All right, so let's keep the 2025 theme that is currently active. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to add a new theme. So let's go to add new theme. The theme that we're going to be looking for is the Blocksy theme. Not very far from here. It's right here, Blocksy. Or if you don't see it here under popular, you can go ahead and search Blocksy here. We've also used Astra. I've used Hello Elementor on my personal website. We've used Kadence in tutorials. I've used Ocean WP way back in the day. So we've used a lot of these themes. Very popular. So we're going to go ahead and go with Blocksy. If you don't see it there, just go ahead and type Blocksy right here. Oh, look, it's already there. Let's go Blocksy and go ahead and install. After we've installed, we're going to go ahead and activate. Now that we've activated our theme, here's something interesting. I want you to look at this. This is what it looked like, our website looked like with the 2025 theme. Duplicating it will show us the look with the Blocksy theme. It's different, and it feels different, mind you. which is absolutely beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I am going to head back over to themes. If you see this message that says install Blocksy companion, go ahead and click it. If you don't see this message, right, let's remove that. Let's remove. If you don't see the message, go to plugins, add new plugin, and type Blocksy. So Blocksy companion, there it is. And it's going to appear by Creative Themes HQ. Go ahead and install now. After we've installed, go ahead and activate. And having activated, we're going to appear on this page. If you're not here, just go to Blocksy and it'll take you here to the home. What you're going to do is you're going to go to starter sites. And the theme that, well, the starter site that we want to use is actually Invest Boost, which is right here. But the problem is that for Invest Boost, it's a pro theme or a pro template. We can't just install it without getting an upgrade. All right, so what you're going to do is there's a link in the description below. That's an affiliate link, actually. That's going to take you to Blocksy Pro that you can go ahead and buy a Blocksy. If you don't want to use the affiliate link, which, by the way, it helps out the channel. If you don't want to, that's fine. What you can do is you can go ahead and click on import and click upgrade. Now, you can go ahead and get the personal license, or you can get the business license or limited license, whichever works for your use case. You're smart enough to make a decision. Go ahead and buy now, check out, and I'm going to show you what to do on the account page. All right. After you've purchased your Blocksy license, you're going to appear right here. You see licenses. What you're going to do is you're going to go to downloads and you're going to download this premium version. Copy the license key. I've copied. Done. It's going to be downloaded now. And there we go. Go ahead and close that. Now we're going to go to plugins. We're going to add new plugin. But this time we're not going to search for a plugin. We're going to upload a plugin. I just downloaded it, so I just drag and drop from here. But you can just go ahead and choose file and everything like that. Let's go ahead and click install now and activate the plugin. When it's activated, you're going to need to install, well, add your license key that was just copied. Go ahead and paste that right here. Activate your license. And now that the license is activated, we can go back to starter sites. And now we can import the Invest Boost plugin. We're going to go with the child theme because that makes it a little bit easier in the future for customization, especially as you get better at WordPress. And you can go next and install. Now that installation is finished, let's go ahead and click View Site. First, for reference, this is what we started off with. Not very beautiful. Now we installed Blocksy and got this solution, this look. And now we install the starter sites, and this is our website. This is actually quite beautiful. I really love what I see here, guys. I absolutely love what I'm seeing here. Really beautiful. Like, I'm telling you, this is the thing that I love the most about Blocksy. They make really stunning and amazing websites right off the bat. Now, this is a premium template, and you can go back to Blocksy and you can use any of the free versions. Like, we've done tutorials with the free templates and they're absolutely stunning. But this is absolutely amazing, guys. I absolutely, definitely, positively really love what Blocksy has going on right here. I cannot recommend them enough. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking of remaking my personal website with this template because it's just so stunning. And that's what I want you guys to notice, that this is your website. Now you can copy the link and you can share with your grandma, your grandpa, and your baby brother and sister and say, hey, check it out. This is my first website right now. This is what I've done. And you should be darn proud of yourself. Congratulations. Now this, guys, is absolutely amazing. Really amazing. All right. So the next step is that we're going to have to do a few things. As you realize, the name of the business is Invest Boost, and we have IT solutions. So I'm going to change from IT solutions to investment solutions for business, small business and entrepreneurs. And we're going to change from Zeilhan IT services to Zeilhan investments. We are also going to change the logo. We're going to change the site icon. The site icon is this blue logo right here with a W. We're going to take a look at our colors, fonts, and typography. I'm not going to change them, but I do need you to understand branding and how branding works. And after we've done all that, we're going to learn how to edit the template. We're going to add some lead gen. If you click the side panel right here, you see something absolutely beautiful in the sidebar. You can go ahead and check out the contact page, which is really nice. Really, really nice. Really well done, guys. And there's a lot that we're going to be doing. So for now, we're going to change from Zeilhan IT Services to Zeilhan Investment, small business investment solutions for small businesses. And then we are going to change our logo, change our site icon, learn how to edit the header, learn how to edit the footer, learn how to change our global colors and typography, which is a part of our branding. And then we can go from there. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to drag this over here. I'm going to close all tabs to the right. We're going to go to dashboard. On dashboard, we're going to go to settings and general. We're going to change from Zeilhan IT to Zeilhan Investments. Investment solutions for small businesses in Los Angeles. Sure, why not? Copy. I put a space between that. And we're going to paste and we're going to save. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to change the site icon and the logo. To do that, you're going to go to appearance and customize. Under appearance customize, you're going to go all the way to the bottom to core, site identity, change your site icon. We're going to have to upload our site icon and logos and the like. Just go ahead and upload files. Now it is being uploaded. I am going to go with this one. And let's just use a colored version. Go ahead and crop image. You're going to notice it's changed. Go ahead and publish those changes. The next thing we want to do is we want to change the logo. Now the logo is part of what's called the header. What we can do is we can just click right here or hover over what we want to edit. And you're going to notice that there's 3 dots that appear. You can click on those 3 dots and will take you to where you need to go. Or you can go back, header, and it's going to bring up this section right here. Just click on this right here. It's going to take you to the page. So what you need to do is click on this 3 dots. Click on the 3 dots so you can change the logo. So I'm going to go ahead and use the black logo in the place of where the black is. I'm going to use the white logo for the place of where the white is. So we have different versions of logos. If you want to have a logo design, reach out to our team. All right. And that's going to be very helpful for our header. Go ahead and publish changes. We've just edited the logo and our header. It works the same way for all the other elements of our header. Because what you're going to, let's change the sticky state logo as well to the black one. And let's scroll. All right, I like that. That's good. Go ahead and publish. So what you're going to notice that this is the header and it says main row. And right here we have, I had to pop up. This is also the main row. And in the main row, we have elements. The logo here corresponds to this logo. And we have a menu, which corresponds to this menu right here. And we have a trigger, which is partially here. Now, these are all elements. If you go back to header, you're going to notice that we have a few things that we can add. I'm going to add a button to the top row. All right, let's do this. So we're going to go back. We're going to add a button to the top row. And the thing is, guys, so we're using Blocksy Pro. We don't have all these options available in the free version. So for example, we can only use one button and we can't use as many menus and so on. But these are all pro features. So this is a part of where we do Blocksy Pro. Anyway, continuing, we can also add socials right beside also. Now we have the middle row up here. I'm going to add the socials right here. And I'm not going to keep them. This is just to show you how this works. Now, we want to edit the socials. We just hover over socials, click on the 3 buttons. We're going to go to the 3 dots, go to design, and we're going to change the default state to white. And the hover state says yellow. Let's change our state to blue. The hover state is blue, so we're going to change our state to yellow, guys. And you can see that happen right here. Is it possible to add a hover animation? Not at all. And we can scroll. Now, here's the thing. We have a sticky header when we scroll, which is really cool. And that's the main row. So if we go back, all right, and it says headers, all right, global header, all right. Now we have a sticky functionality. What is a sticky functionality? Well, this one says only the main row, which is what is happening here. Notice that the top row isn't being displayed. All right, good. So let's actually move this button down to the bottom row so you can see it even better. So the bottom row, top row, and the main row. When we scroll on, the main row is there. You can actually change from these options and get your sticky header to be configured different. Now, that's going to affect the design and the look, and that's up to you. I'm pretty sure you have amazing ideas based on what you've learned. So we're just going to keep it as is, and we can change the button. So on the button, we can add a link. We can change the name to get free consultation. Get free consultation. We can change the design. So let's do a ghost button. Let's change the default state to a white. All right. And the hover state to a blue. And we're going to learn about colors shortly. I'm just showing you how this works. And we need a border. So let's add a border. Border radius. Not what I had in mind. We need an actual border. That's good. So we can publish those changes. I am not going to publish those changes because, hey, those are terrible. So I'm going to go ahead and remove those changes. But at least you know how to change your options. You can click on the menu and you can select a different menu. I'm not going to do that. Let's go ahead and show you. If you choose main menu, it's the same menu as there. I'll show you how to create menus towards the end of the tutorial. Or you can use the timestamps below to learn how to create the menus and change right here. You can also learn how to edit your menu. We're just going to go back to the main, keep the main menu and what's not. We're going to go to this end of the website or the bottom of the website. And this is going to be our footer area. Go ahead and publish these changes. And it doesn't appear that I can freely edit the footer as I would like. And I believe it's because the footer is made with something else. So let's just go ahead and click on footer. And as you might realize, the only thing that is in the footer is the copyright, and that's in the bottom row. If we add an actual button to the main row, we should see some changes, shouldn't we? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go back. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to close. All right. And we're going to learn how to edit the footer right away. Let's just go to visit site. Because I think it's made with green shift. If you go to edit page, all right, let's go to edit page. Scroll all the way down. This is a different part of the tutorial, but I need to understand what's happening with the footer. So the footer is not a part of the page, apparently. So I'm going to go back to dashboard. And this is just me trying to figure out what's happening. So reusable templates. Let's take a look here. No patterns found. And green shift. Let's see if there's something here as well. Not there. So I am not seeing where the footer is from. All right, so here it is. It's under Blocksy content blocks. And if we view right here for the footer, then we're actually seeing the footer as we saw it. And there are actually a few footers right here, it seems. And what I'm going to do is I am going to click on edit the footer. And it says on the entire website. That's good. All right, so this is the footer. So we have the email opt-in, we have a header, we have some stats, and all right, this is good. So this is the actual footer. This is how we headed the footer. Now, as you realize something, this footer is not using the default WordPress settings. It's actually using Blocksy's setting, and it took a while for me to figure it out. And this is because here's how this is going to work. You might use Blocksy now, and then you choose a different template, and the settings are different. What I've just done is I've shown you how to just go ahead and try to figure out. So if you've tried to edit the header or the footer, and it's not on the page where you think it is at the appearance section, go back to the actual page. And if you edit the page, there might be an option at edit page, especially if you're using Elementor, that's going to say edit header, edit footer. And if not, go ahead and edit the page, and you can go ahead and take a look if the footer that you think is a part of the footer is part of the page, because sometimes they build the footer in the page and remove footer from a specific page. Here's the other thing. So what I'm saying, let me say it again. Sometimes the footer, which is supposed to be across all the website, is sometimes built into a specific page, and the global footer that's on all website is not on the page where they're building a new footer. All right. That happens fairly often, especially in marketing, when you don't want to have the footer and the header on a landing page, navigate traffic away from what you're selling. All right. The other thing is that you can have plugins that create custom footers, and that is not to be underestimated. All right. So we figured this out, which is good. And we can go ahead and invest change here. Just go ahead and replace, open media library, and just use the blue one. And there we go. We can change the size. Go ahead and change that size. We can click there and go on block, and then we can change the actual size of it. So it says it's full, but the height is 30. All right. So that's a bit bigger. And now we can reduce the space or increase it. All right. And that's good. We can add our email here. So I'm going to show you soon how to edit this content block. All right. So you can add to MailChimp and the like, or you can watch the MailChimp tutorial here to learn how to do that. It's actually in this tutorial. Learn everything you need to learn about email marketing to get started. And we'll also have another tutorial linked in the description as well, where you can learn how to set up your welcome email sequence with MailChimp and the like. All right, then let's go ahead and save right here because we've not changed much, but we've changed enough. You can go ahead and change your options right here. We're going to learn how to edit this type to do this type of editing next. But we do need to get through the header and the footer. This is the footer, and it's going to be edited like the website. So you're going to learn more about editing the footer once you get to editing the website. So we're going to just wrap up here for now. If we go back, I want you to notice that it says the conditions is that it's going to be included on the entire website. And so it's an off canvas menu, but this archives area section is only shown on certain pages. All right, so that's important. So let's take a look. It's going to be shown on the blog. Let's look for the blog. I think this is it. And I think that's it. So that's it. Now we're going to go back to appearance and customize, and we're going to learn how to edit our colors, typographies, and fonts. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and learn about colors and typography and fonts. Fonts and typography are the same thing. Anyway, so on this website, you notice that we're using a lot of blacks and grays and whites, and we're going to learn a bit about that in color psychology. And we can start right now because color psychology is telling us that different colors emit different emotions. Now, if I say that to you, it doesn't mean the same as when I show it to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show it to you, right? So we're going to go back to customize. And if you're still on the WordPress, so if you're here with me, go ahead and hit customize. But if you're on the WordPress dashboard, go ahead and go to appearance and customize. And we're going to learn a little bit about color psychology right now. Because the thing about color psychology is that it's going to tie into our brand. But we're going to explain what a brand is right afterwards. Color psychology. So go to colors. We have a global color palette right here. I'm not going to save these changes so I can fiddle around just a bit. What you can do is you can go ahead and click right here and save palette. After you've saved your palette, you can go ahead and click color palettes. And what I want you to notice is that as the website looks right now, it gives a certain feel. All right, a certain feel and emotion is being emitted from it, which is all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to click right here. We're going to go to color palettes and we're going to choose the blue. Now, this is supposed to be very similar to what we have. Let's click on the blue. And you notice automatically the website feels a little bit different. It looks different as well because the colors have changed just a bit. And as you scroll down, you notice that the page is a little bit lighter. It's a little bit more subtle and it's not as strong with the dark colors as it once was. Now, here's what we're going to do again. We're going to go back to colors. We're going to use color palettes and we're going to choose the green for palette 2. And yet again, different feeling. This feels like an investment company that's earth conscious. And you can go ahead and keep scrolling. Notice the colors are different yet again. Go ahead and keep scrolling. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and do 2 more. We can choose the orange. And this one isn't as strong because the orange doesn't influence too much of the website as is. But the moment you hover over different parts of the website, then you're starting to feel a little bit more warm, which is what orange is going to do. And we're going to change to the red just a bit. We're going to try red and we're going to try purple. So red is somewhere here. Let's try this one, red. And you notice the color in the background changed just a bit. All right, let's hover over the button. And for the most part, the dominant colors that we're having is our blacks and whites, but different colors do have a different impact on how the website feels. And that is good. So let's go ahead and change color palettes once more. Let's go with the purple. And this is a little bit brighter than the usual colors. So let's go back to red so you can see the change. All right, so this is the red. This is how that red felt. If we go up to the purple, this is how the purple feels. And I actually like the purple. The purple is pretty bright and it doesn't scream purple, but once you hover over different links on the website, then you're going to start seeing that purple come to life, which for me is absolutely amazing. I actually like this. So what we're going to do, guys, is I'm going to go ahead and we're going to reload. And I'm going to explain color psychology in a little bit more detail. But first, let's talk about branding, because I said to you that the reason why color psychology is important is because, let's go ahead and close this, is because color psychology influences the way we feel on our website. Right? So color psychology influences the look and feel of our website because different colors emit different emotions. And this is a part of our branding masterclass. What is branding? Branding is not, let's just say what branding is and we can get over it. Branding is how people feel about your business. It's the emotion that comes, the experience, the thoughts that come to mind whenever someone hears about your business. Branding is not the color, it's not the typography, it is not the logo. All those are very nice things to have. It is not what your business sounds like, it's how people feel about it. Now, all those different things are nice to have. They are part of what makes up your brand, but they by themselves do not define your brand. Now, the color, as we mentioned, influences how someone feels when they come across your brand, which is why it's a critical part of color, a critical part of your branding. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to go to coolers and we're going to find, actually, we're even going to go to coolers just yet. We're going to take a look at Google to get an example of how different brands use different colors to influence how you feel about them. This is going to be amazing. So just open a new tab and type color psychology. All right, now that we've opened the brand, now that we've opened a new tab, let's go to images. The one I like using is this one right here that says color emotion guide. I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller, move myself out of the way. And what you're going to find happen here is looking at the oranges, yellows, and reds, you're going to notice that a lot of the food brands use these colors, which is interesting. Now, here's what's going to happen. Let's look at what these colors represent. Red is youthful and bold, and this brings excitement. Meanwhile, orange is friendly, and it brings about cheerfulness and confidence, as well as yellow, which brings about clarity and warmth, and that's also related to optimism. Interestingly enough, like I said, a lot of the food brands use these colors. You're gonna see Fanta, you're gonna see Hertz. Well, Hertz is a car brand. Sunkiss, McDonald's, Orange Crush. You're gonna see. This is actually a car brand as well. Then they're using red. You're gonna see Coca-Cola, Kellogg's, etc., etc. The blues are quite interesting. They bring a feeling of trust and dependability and strength. You're going to notice a lot of the tech companies use this. IBM, Facebook, Dell, and even banks tend to use that because they want to emit a feeling of trust. Green is more outdoors, nature, earth. It's peaceful growth and health. Notice we have John Deere. They make tractors. Animal Planet. Tropicana, which is actually supposed to be a healthy beverage, not so healthy, high fructose corn syrup. But we also have Monster, BP, the oil company. I think this is part of their oil branding and rebranding. Android is actually green. And the Balance, which is what our website is using out of blacks and whites. Balance, which is gray, white, and black. So we see gray here, but it's really blacks, whites, and grays combined together. It's going to bring a balance, and they're also peaceful and neutral. And the thing I want you to notice, guys, a lot of the luxury brands tend to use blacks, whites, and grays, this actual color palette. So if you go to Apple, blacks, whites, and grays, it's even right here in the logo, the gray logo. Mercedes-Benz, I believe Rolls-Royce is also part of this. So you can go ahead and take a look at that. Nike, for example, and that is actually quite interesting. Now, now that you have an idea of how to select the colors for your brand, I'm going to assume that you haven't done that, but if you have, you can use this as a guide. If you're doing a restaurant, you might want to go with some of the reds, oranges, and yellows. If you're doing a tech company, you might want to go with blue. If you're doing an investment company, you might go with blue, or you might want to go with the blacks, whites, and grays. Purple is really nice. It brings about a feeling of royalty and creativity and imagination. That's why sci-fi or sci-fi is also purple. And we can continue this for the rest of the day. We don't have much time. Now that you've decided on your colors, where we're going to go is we are going to go to Coolers. And on Coolers' website, on Coolers, we are going to find trending palettes, or we can make our own that is going to help us select the branding for our website. Now, like I said, for this tutorial, I'm not going to necessarily change too much about this template in terms of the color and the typography, but I want you to understand what to do in case you want to make changes. Because at the end of the day, we need you to have an awesome website that looks absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful. All right, so let's go to Coolers. Here we are on Coolers. We are not going to start the generator. We are going to explore trending palettes. This is what the generator looks like. It can cause seizures and epilepsy. I don't know who's watching, so I'm not going to go ahead and use that. You can use that if you'd like, but for now, trending palettes is fine. On trending palettes, we are going to see different palettes that we can use, guys. And what I want you guys to notice is that these palettes are good as they are, but it's perfectly fine to mix and match. Now you notice we have some darker colors here. We have blue and yellow here. We have purple somewhere here. We have a blue somewhere here. We have pink right here. You can go ahead and use a blue from here and a black from there and make your own palette. That's what we're gonna do. So just go ahead and just grab this nice blue right here. This is very good. And go right here. We're gonna go back to our colors. This is how you're going to change your website colors. You're gonna click on colors. And on colors, you can click here and you can change your blue. So we have blue on this website already. So I'm not going to use blue. I'm actually going to use a different color. I'm going to use purple. Just click right here. And we have this selected. Let's paste that right there. All right, now we need a lighter purple. Let's just go with this one, actually. And this is perhaps a little bit too light. Let's see. And let's go right there and hover. Yeah, we have something good going on here. All right. And if we use a lighter purple here, we're going to have an easier time with the highlight. So what we might do is we might switch to the lighter purple for that one and then use a dark purple for this one. And this doesn't matter because what I want you to realize, once we start editing the website, we can select which color appears where. So it's not a big deal. And I'm not going to save these colors, guys. So it's just for tutorial purposes. Now for our blacks, what we're going to do is we're going to use, instead of using a black, we're going to use something like perhaps a dark blue. So this one is good right there. Let's just click on this and notice the change. All right, so notice that the feeling of the website has changed. All right. We're now blue, we're not black, and that's perfectly fine. What I'm going to use for this color is another blue. Let's try this one. All right, go right here. And let's just scroll right up, see if we can see some changes right away. And there we go. All right. And that's actually pretty nice if you ask me. Because at the end of the day, these blues are working. And that's how this gets amazing, because you don't have to use what's here for your website to be beautiful. And it's just a happy coincidence that this has worked out, guys. Absolutely happy coincidence. We can click on the main row. And for the design, we can change the transparent state color. We can use one of these colors that we have. All right. So that can be used. We can use a darker blue, which is going to make absolutely transparent. We can use this. Ooh, I like this. Guys, I like what's happening here. I like this. I like this, guys. This is nice. This is absolutely pretty nice. I might actually have to save these changes, guys. This is nice. I'm telling you, I actually get excited about this stuff. All right, then. And this is nice. Like I've said, for the umpteenth time, I'm not going to do too many changes with our colors for the whites because I believe our whites are fine as they are. And there's a nice color here, a light blue. So instead of this light blue, I'm going to grab a really light purple, extremely light purple. Not that one. And perhaps this one. And I'm going to go with that right here. And let's see. And because it's so close to this, I'm going to use a slightly darker purple, or we can just use a slightly lighter purple here. And we can also grab a slightly darker purple for that. Yeah. And that's perfectly fine the way I see it. That's actually pretty good. I think what we could do once we start editing the website, we can change the background for this section to this blue, and that would actually look pretty cool if you ask me. So this is good. I'm actually going to save the changes. I couldn't help myself. All right, so that's it actually for colors. Now what we're going to do is we're going to learn about typographies really nicely. Then we're going to learn a few tools that you can use to actually find the colors that the website is using. So typography, why is typography important? Just like the color, the typography matters with your website. Different types of website use different colors. All right, let me show you and then you'll figure it out. So let's just go to incognito and let's go to CNN. This is CNN's website. Notice that they have a certain color that they are using, a certain font that they are using. Let's go to something completely different. So let's go to Apple's website. I do love Apple's website, and different font than they're using on CNN. Now let's go to an absolutely different website. Let's go to YouTube and music. Sure, I don't know what's gonna come up, but whatever. I'm pretty sure something should be on the homepage. No. I'm stoked for websites, guys, which is not very cool. Let's go to Blocksy's website, guys. This is Blocksy's website, different font from Apple, from BBC. Now we can just do the same thing on our website. Just go back to colors, click on typography. We have system default right here. Let's just click right here. Actually, let's click right here and change system default. So look right here. We're not going to save these changes because trust me, these are not going to work. So let's go ahead and just select one of these fonts, Arial. Notice the website changes how it looks. Let's go with Verdana, different look. Trebuchet, different look. We can also go with the heading. Let's search for Poppins. So it's not there. Let's go with Impact. And let's go with Myriad Pro. So the heading one is not changing. So I think what we have here is an heading 2. No worries. Let's just click on heading 2. Go with Arial. It's not changing again. That's actually pretty sad. It is sad. Okay, so I don't know which font is being used there. So we should see the changes right here. Let's go back to the H2, I believe, and Verdana. Notice it's changed, and Trebuchet, notice it's changed, and Georgia, notice it's changed. And the thing about this, guys, these fonts matter with your website because if your font doesn't represent what you do in your business or the type of business that you're trying to do, premium versus low cost, etc., you're gonna have a bit of trouble, guys. So we're good with what we have right here. I'm not going to keep the font changes, but you can keep those fonts if you'd like. You can change them. If you want to get a font for your website, you can go to Google and type fonts for investment businesses, and you're going to get a few fonts suggested here, but don't use one. If you go, so I'm going to close coolers. If you go to the website and you type Boboni, and it doesn't appear, it means that it's not there. You're going to have to download it and add it to the site. That's not beginner friendly. So I'm not going to really cover that in this tutorial. If you want me to cover it, go ahead and comment below. I might just make a specific video for that. And you can use these here. Just 2 tools to find the colors and the fonts that are being used on the website. You can go to What Font. So What Font extension is right here. Chrome, and add it to Chrome. It's going to be right here. If you go to our website, then you can click on What Font, and it's going to tell you the font that is being used. BBC Rate Serif is actually a custom font. All right. And let's go to Colorzilla extension. All right, and you click right here. And once you click right there, you can see that add it to Chrome, and then you click right here, and you click on just exit what font. You can click right here. And it's going to give you the colors that's being used on the site. You can just go ahead. Let me go to BBC's homepage, see if there are any colors there. Nope. No, so let's go to Apple, and then we can use color picker or Colorzilla, and it's going to tell us the colors that are being used. All right. And once you click, you can just click and it's going to get copied to your clipboard and you paste it where you want to use it. Absolutely beautiful. I just love Apple's websites. I don't care what anyone says. They have one of the most amazing and beautiful designed websites in the entire world. All right, so that's it for color psychology. That's it for your fonts. That's it for editing your header, your footer, and the like. What we're going to be doing next is we're just going to learn how to edit the actual website template real quickly. We're going to also learn about responsive web design. We're going to learn how to get media files for our website so we don't get copyright strikes. And let's go from there. All right, guys. So this has been really good. And let's get going. All right, guys. At this stage, we've made a lot of changes. Just visit the site for a second. And we do have a beautiful website here. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. It's amazing. And you guys know how I feel about it, based on how I've been ranting and raving for the past few whiles. But there is just a single problem. Here's what that problem is. The problem is that this is my logo. This is my site icon. But these aren't the words I want to tell a website visitor for my website. And maybe I don't have 100K average investment, which I hope is perhaps monthly or daily. I don't know. And that certainly is not me, right? And the reason why I bring this up is because even though we're building our website, what we want to do is we want to prevent users or viewers from seeing the website when it's in development. And what that means is that we're going to do create what's called a under construction page. It's something we should have done earlier, but it slipped me just a bit. We're going to do it right now. And how it works is that if you're ever driving downtown or across the city or most neighborhoods sometimes, whenever a new building is being put up, it's not open where you can drive by and look in and see everything that's happening. Normally there's a fence and only those who are working on it can see the inside. When it's open to the public, especially if it's downtown and it's a business building like a mall or whatever it might be, when it's done, then you can go ahead and take a look inside. It's the same thing we're going to do here, where we're going to prevent regular website visitors from seeing our site. And then after that, when it's done, we can open it to the general public. Now, what we're going to use is a plugin called Under Construction Plugin. You all know how to add plugins already. You just go to our dashboard, or you can go to plugins from here. And plugins, add new plugin. Add new plugin, we are going to type construction, and it's right here actually. So type construction, and we're going to see the Under Construction plugin come up. Let's go ahead and install now. After we click install now, we're going to go ahead and activate. Let me just go ahead and dismiss this message. We're going to now go to settings. All right. Under settings, we're going to close this message here. We're going to select a design. This is an investment website. So I think I'm going to go with this option. Things went dark, and we have a lighter version here, Matte Design. And we're going to go with the dark version. I think that's pretty cool. And just go ahead and activate. Now, how this works is that whenever someone visits your site who is not a website admin, they're not supposed to see the site as they're seeing it here. So if you go to view website, let me just go back to dashboard. If we go to view site incognito, you're going to realize that the site is still open. And you're going to be like, hey, what the hell? I did this. Why isn't it working? Here's why it didn't work. So we're going to close this. The reason why it didn't work is because we didn't actually activate it. We set up which one we want to show, like which theme we want to show, which look we want, but we haven't told the website, hey, yeah, go ahead and show it. So just go ahead and activate right here. That's on. And then after that's on, let's just go ahead and visit again. You're going to notice that it's actually working this time. Here's what you're going to do next. The next thing that you're going to do is that you need to know how to show this website to the right people. So maybe you're a web development agency or a developer and you want to show the website to perhaps the client, or maybe you're just working on it for your business. You want to show the rest of staff, your wife, your husband, your family members, brother, sister, your grandma, your baby cousin. When that time comes, two ways you can go about it. The first way is that you can just go ahead and turn this off right here, right? Just for a few minutes for them to visit from wherever they are in the world, and they can see the website. And that's the way I suggest you go with, because it's a little bit hard for the next way, and it carries a few risks. But I'm going to show you anyway. When you go to users, you're going to go to add new user. And for the person that you want to be able to view the website, because here we are, if I go visit site, it's on, by the way, guys. If I visit site, while I'm logged in, it's going to say that under construction mode is enabled, but you are whitelisted, so you see the normal site. And the reason why I'm whitelisted is because I'm an admin, right? So we can go ahead and close that. You can go ahead and create a new account for the person that you want to be able to see the website. And you can make them an administrator. The problem with that is if you make them an admin, perhaps they can take the website from you. Like, they have admin privileges, they can remove your account and take the website. Now, if you own the hosting server that the website is currently on, you can perhaps get it back, but there's some risks involved with that. So there's also that to keep in mind. All right. The next thing that you're also going to do is you are going to go to settings. So you can do that and add new user, and then that would allow the admin to see the site. But I would prefer to just go ahead and deactivate. I'm going to go ahead and go to settings in the meanwhile, and I'm going to go to access, and I'm going to say whitelisted user roles, and we can say subscriber. And for subscriber, just go ahead and save changes. All right. For this to save, now it's saved. Now that subscribers and authors, editors, etc. can view the site, what we can do, and this is risky because if someone signs up while it's open, that you don't want to see the site, then problem, right? But now you can actually go to users, add new user, and you can create just a subscriber, and whoever you want to see the site can see the site without, having the risk of losing the website. So that's that for under construction. It's on, it is working. Yes, it is. That's good. Now, the next thing that we're going to have to do before we move a little bit further is we need to set up some website security. And the reason why I like to set up my website security so early on is because we don't want to go ahead, build this website, and when we build this website, we realize that a lot of errors are on it. It's infected with malware and spam, and we don't want that to happen, because then we're going to have to perhaps build the entire thing again, even if it took us 2 months, and no, there's no fun in that. So we're going to add some security plugins, and we're going to add a backup so that if something happens today that we can't undo, we made a change or we don't like it or something broke, we can actually just, go with the last saved file from yesterday and undo all of those bad changes from today. So how do we do that? Plugins, right? So we're going to go to plugins, add new plugin. We are going to type security. Now, add security, we are going to install a few of these. We're going to install really simple security. We're also going to install solid security because, that's a really good one to go with. I like going with Sucuri, so let's go ahead and install Sucuri as well. We have those 3 installed. The next one that we're going to go with, it's not going to be right here. So we're going to have to type in UpdraftPlus. Go ahead and delete. UpdraftPlus. There we go. And we're going to install now. Now, before we actually, so I'm just go ahead and leave right here, dashboard. Before we install these plugins or activate them, before we activate them, what I need you to do is I need you to go to users, not add new user, but actually go to profile this time. On profile, I want you to go ahead and copy your username, copy your email address, and you're going to go all the way here. If you don't remember your password, go ahead and set a new password, copy and paste it somewhere safe, because somewhere in this process, you're going to get logged out. And after you get logged out, you're going to need to log back in. And when you log back in, then and only then will you be able to actually, go on and do what needs to be done. So, all right, so let's just get going. After you saved your username and password, we're going to go back to plugin. We're going to install the plugins. The first one we're going to activate is Really Simple Security. This will help us to have SSL security on our website at all times, which is very good. There are a few hosts you can use here. You can go with Cloudways because this is what we advocate for. I like Liquid Web. Let me just take a look at Liquid Web. IJKL Liquid Web. Kickstarter remodel. I do not like that redesign. We're not gonna talk too much about that. So we can choose our host. It bothers me that I don't see name here or here. Maybe they're not as big as I think they are. But anyway, you can choose your host and go ahead and activate SSL. I like to opt in because, never want to miss news. Go ahead and save and continue. Enable everything here. All right. And you can install these plugins. I tend not to because I don't normally add them in the tutorial, but you will find them helpful. So you can go ahead and install. I'm going to skip and I'm going to finish right here. And that's it for really simple security. We haven't done much, but for what we can get for the free version, we have done that. Next plugin, we're going to go to plugins, install the plugins, and we are going to activate Sucuri. Let's go ahead and activate Sucuri. After we've activated Sucuri, we're going to go to Sucuri security, and we're going to go to settings. We are then going to go to hardening, and we're going to apply hardening to everything here. Apply hardening to the activate automatic secret keys updater. I like to do that one last. All right. You can apply hardening for the firewall, but you need a premium license. So my company and Sucuri has an agreement where we actually have a premium license where they protect our and our clients' sites. So what that does is that we have a security team that's there protecting our client site. Yeah, of course, you can become our client. Just comment below or email us at info@zeilhan.com or use the link to set up a consultation. Well, anyway, if you try to apply hardening, it's going to say that you need to have a premium license, which we do, but not for this tutorial. Never mind, still very helpful. So we're just going to go ahead and apply hardening for everything else. And apply hardening. All right, then that's good. So we've pretty much done all we need to do with Sucuri. We can go to general settings and we can muck around a bit, but there isn't much that we need to do after this stage. All right, then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to plugins, install plugins, and we are going to activate solid security. Go ahead and activate. After we've activated solid security, we are going to go to the panel right here. You're not going to see WP Server, like I said, start with tutorial because, well, we did that just to protect the site while we are doing the tutorial. So I'm going to go to security and we're going to go to setup and allow and continue. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to select type of site. Now, this is a brochure, just a simple website to promote our business. In our e-commerce tutorials, we do select e-commerce. And if it's a blog, you can go ahead and say blog. Let's go with brochure. You can scan your site. I recommend it actually. But because I have WP Server already activated, it's not going to work for me. But do go ahead and scan your site and then continue. I'm going to go ahead and activate this as well. It's not a network, right? But it can be. We can perhaps do a network in the future. So I like to just cover all my eyes, dot my I's and cross my T's. That's what they say. You don't cover your eyes. Anyway, let's continue. So continue. Definitely like requiring strong passwords and refuse compromised passwords. Go ahead and continue. Allow two-factor for sure. Well, actually, I'm not going to allow two-factor because for this tutorial, I don't want to go through all of that. But you should definitely allow two-factor and then set up your two-factor authentication. That's going to be like a lifeline for you guys. Go ahead and continue. And this is my own website. And enable Security Check Pro. And we're going to go next. Our IP, just go ahead and authorize my IP address. That is my IP address. And you can go ahead and check your IP. No problem. All right, that's good. Let's go next. Like I said, you can activate two-factor. I'm going to leave everything else as is. You can schedule a site scan, sure. And everything else is fine. Go ahead and continue. Default user groups, don't change anything here, guys. We don't need to get fancy. We're just beginners. It's set up nicely as it is. We can go all administrators. If you have more administrators, you're going to see them listed here. If there's an admin that you don't want to get notifications, just go ahead and take them. And go ahead and take the admins that you want to receive notifications and the ones that you don't want to receive notifications, uncheck them. But we have all admins because we only have one admin here. And let's go ahead and continue. Now, at some point in this process, you may have been logged out of your website. Normally, we do get logged out, but we haven't been logged out this time. I am not complaining. But if you were logged out, I'm pretty sure you were able to log back in because I did warn you about that before we got here. Now on the dashboard, as you're going to realize, this is a very beautiful dashboard. I like what I'm seeing here. It's very beautiful, very nice. I love it. So let's just go ahead and check this out. You can do some backups. You can add a firewall. They have site scans by Patchstack. Now, I've met the founder of Patchstack a few years ago. Really nice guy. Really cool service that they have going on here. If I wasn't with Sucuri, I would have gone with Patchstack. So they are very good at what they do. And you can ban IPs and the like. All right, so very good. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go back to plugins yet again. Plugins. And we're going to go to installed plugins. Under install plugins, we're going to activate UpdraftPlus. Once activated, we're going to press here to start or click. We are going to go to our settings. All right. What I recommend you do, especially for this kind of website, I recommend that you do daily backups. All right. And you want to maintain a month's worth of backup. Now, how many days are in a month? 28 the last time I checked. Sometimes 30, sometimes 31. You can go with 30, doesn't matter. I'm going to just go with 28 for an example. And you can go on. But, so this is what your settings should look like. File and database backup daily, 28 days, or keep 28 of them. But because this is a tutorial, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say it's going to be manual. And we're only going to keep 28 because I'm not going to back up 28 times anyway. All right, then select your save server location where you want to save your files. So I've worked with Amazon S3 before, really nice, but Google Drive is pretty standard these days. You set up Gmail, you get Google Drive. Big whoop. All right, and just go ahead and save changes. Now we're going to log into Google, and we're going to complete setup. After we've completed setup, we're going to be on the backup restore page. Go ahead and click backup now. Go ahead and back up now. And I'm going to close. I'm going to wait for the backup to be completed to show you how you can restore a backup. So let's say that you've been backing up for the past week. Today you made a change that is really not a good change and you don't know how to fix it or to undo it. Or maybe today you realize that just a few of your, just go ahead and close. Just a few of your, let's just say that your website is hacked today and you don't know how. You can just restore yesterday or last week's backup by just clicking restore on the preferred backup. So today is April 5th at this moment. So you can just go ahead and click restore and select everything that you want to restore and click next, and that will restore the backup for you. Very simple. And you can also use this when migrating your website, which is actually pretty cool. So go ahead and cancel. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to the dashboard. Matter of fact, let's go to the site but what we're going to be doing now is we're just going to go ahead and learn how to edit this template, because this is the last thing. We need to learn how to edit everything on this template. We're also going to go through some lead generation tutorials, learn how to generate leads from our website, how to get website traffic, SEO, and the like. So yes, this is pretty good. So let's just go ahead and learn how to edit this website, guys. All right, guys. So now we're going to learn how to edit this template. To edit the template, you can go to any page. Normally, I start with a contact page because that's a little bit easier to work with. So, all right, we can just go to the contact page. And on the contact page, we go to edit page. Now, editing this template is quite easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click right here just to bring up a representation of what the website currently looks like. And right here is going to be our editing window. Now, the thing that I want you guys to understand is that normally whenever you're building a website, you have to write code. So if you just go on the actual page and go to inspect element or inspect, you're going to see a lot of code over here. And all this code that you see right here, and a bit more sometimes, is code that you have to write to keep this or to create this website right here, which is quite interesting, right? So what I want you to realize is that we are not going to write a single line of code in this tutorial. And it's very impressive because we can still get the same result. So we can just go ahead and close right here. We can still get the same result without writing any lines of code. And what does that mean? It means that we're using what's called a WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. And what WYSIWYG does is that it says that you literally have something in front of you, and whatever you see right here is what you're going to have on the final design. So how do we actually edit this thing? Well, as you realize, when you hover over different parts of this website, there are some lines that appear. And the reason why these lines appear is because it's just saying to you that you can click and start edit. So let's just go ahead and give that a shot. Click right there, and then we're going to Control A. Everything is highlighted. Let's change this from questions, our specialists are ready to help, to need investment help. All right, so need investment help, contact us today. And I'm not going to do too much design, just going to type that, save it. And once it's saved, let's visit. So this is what we currently have, but we've updated it and made changes. Just go ahead and reload. And just like that, the changes have been added. All right, then that's good. So we can continue on this way, where we can literally just hover over anything that we see on the page, and it's going to allow us to edit. So we can just go ahead and change that to an ampersand. Contact and company details, go ahead and save, scroll all the way down, and we can edit. And that's good. But here's the thing though, that's just a small part of what we can do, because now, after we've edited, like adding content to the page or editing the content on the page, there are a few more things that we can do. We can add new content, we can remove content. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and click right here. Click on these three dots, and we can delete this section, and we can save. Go back here and reload, and it's gone. If we don't want to keep those changes, we can undo by clicking right here. Notice the section is added again, and we can save. We can also, so you notice that the entire section is being highlighted at this time. We can click on that, and we can format how the section appears. So once we click on an element, which that's what these are really. These are all elements, and these are in a container. Let me show you what I mean. If you go right here, you can add a block, and it's going to be an image block. And we can do media library and just add, let's just add this for now. And that's good. So that's what we can do. But I don't like this setup. So I'm going to click right here, and I'm going to delete. I'm going to do this a different way. What we can do, however, is that we can click right here on these three dots, and it's going to tell us what we have. We have a box container, and we have a 3-row columns, which is right here. We have a header advanced, which is right here. And within these 3-row columns, we notice that we're going to have some words, and we're going to have a map and some words. So we click right here. In the final column, which should be this one, we're looking for a map. We have a map, which is here. We have an advanced header, which is here. And we have 2 texts advanced, which is right here. In these other 2 columns, which should be here and here, we notice that we have a lot of text and headers, all right? And above them all, we have the advanced header, which is this. And scroll down a bit more, we have another box container, which is here. And we can add these elements to our page. How do we add them to our page? Because let's say they don't already exist on the page. How do we get elements to add to our page? We just click on the plus right here, toggle block inserter, all right? And we can add a box container. That's what this is. We can add a section, or we can have row columns advanced. So this is what a box container is, because we learned that from here. This is a box container. This is a box container. We have row columns advanced, and we have another box container. So we can add all of those if we'd like. We can go box container, drag and drop right here. And perhaps we can even drag and drop row column as well. We can go with, let's say, 2 columns. And we notice that there's a plus right here in each of these that we just added that says add a block. That's now where we can add the element. So in order to add elements, we need to have some form of a container or a layout block available. And within these layout blocks, we add the elements. All right, so now we can do 2 things. We can add them from here, add in advanced. All right, can do that. Or we can click on the plus, and it's going to appear here. And within here, we can add another element. And let's just go with 3 right now. And notice now we have 3 columns in that. We have 3 columns in the container that has 2 columns. So in one of the first columns of the 2 container main columns, we have 3 columns, which is basically what you're seeing right here. All right, guys. So notice we have 3 right here. Then there's a main, and there's something here. So we can add an image here. Go to our media library. Do that. And then here we can add some information. And we can go ahead and click the plus right here, we can add a text advanced as well. And let me just go ahead and there one. And this is how you can go ahead and design. Now, this would be a really nice design. 3 columns here, perhaps some credentials or the like. Perhaps we could have one and have some content flowing here. Really nice picture here, and a general heading for the section. General heading for the section. Now, this is absolutely beautiful. I like what's going on here. Now that we know how to add elements and sections to the page, we need to know how to format or edit these elements. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to go to this header that we added right here. We're going to click on it. What if the header is too big, like the font is too big or it's too small, or want to change the color? There are ways that we can do that. We just click on the element. When we click on the element, we hover over to the right-hand pane. We're going to have some elements here. This is the view. We're going to learn about view a little bit later in responsive web design, perhaps in about 15 or 20 minutes. We can view the page as is. We have green shift settings. We're not going to bother ourselves with that. Green shift helpers. Let's leave that alone for now because that's a little bit more advanced. We don't need to do that to get a really nice website. We have some Blocksy child page settings. For the most part, you're not going to be changing anything here. If this tutorial requires us to do it, then we will take a look at it. But for now, we just want to keep things simple. For a beginner who wants to build a website, we're not going to learn too much, just enough. All right. But the most important thing is this is a panel right here that says block settings. And this block settings is going, well, settings and block settings beneath is going to give us the option of editing. So we click here, click on our settings. We do not need the page settings. No. We actually need the block settings. The block settings is going to be the block that is within the container. And these are blocks like a header, a button, an icon list, an image, a carousel, a video, stuff like that. Then after we've done that, we can go ahead and change from general and advanced. And sometimes there are other settings that we can change. All right, so let's see how this works. I'm going to move myself out of the way. We have text color. We can change that to something a little bit different. All right, we have that with purple. And the font size, we can just click right here and button up. Or what we can do is we can click on this and it says small. We can go with medium, or we can scroll all the way down to extra large. All right, so there are ways that we can do this. We can change the line height. All right, so we can change the line height. We can also, hold on. We can also change the font. So we have different font weight. This is default, normal. We can go with bold, but we'd have to highlight something and then go with bold. No, we can't bold this font because it's bold by default. So everything is bold. We can go with default. The default is bold. We can go with normal, go back to bold. We can align the font center or right, which is a lot like Microsoft Word or Google Clouds, if you're familiar with that, which most people are. And advanced typography options, click right here and we can get a lot of things going on. And the reason why I like this is because it opens the possibility for such wonderful, beautiful, and stunning designs. It's absolutely incredible. All right, guys. And I want you to notice something. Because it's so easy, right? Because it's so easy for us to create this design. A lot of times what you realize happens is that you install the template and you don't need to add anything to it. You just edit the information on the template. And that's good. But because it's so easy to make the design, you can literally go to any website that you see and be like, this is interesting. I see a header, I see some text, I see an image and a few list icons. I can try to recreate this on my website. And you go ahead and you try to recreate it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But as you get better, more times than not, it's actually going to work. So that's very good, guys. What we're going to do now, we're just going to go back left align. We're going to continue realizing that there are a lot of options here. You can go through all these options for yourself. I'm not going to bother myself with them too much. We're going to go to advanced, and in advanced, we are going to notice that we have a lot of options here. A lot of options here as well. We can animate, all right? But you're not going to see the animation unless we save it, which we're not going to do. But you can animate your text and its appearance. There are a lot of things that you can do right here. You can go to advanced and add some CSS. Now, we're not going to do any coding in this tutorial. We don't need to. But if you know how to write CSS, then this is where you're going to put that. You can change the visibility, which is something we're going to take a look at very soon. And responsive and custom CSS means that the CSS is going to be applied to different screen size. We're going to look at responsiveness in the next 10 or so minutes because we're getting there. Interaction layers and everything like that. Very beautiful. We don't need to worry ourselves too much with this. It's good as it is. Let's go back to our general settings and we scroll all the way down on content. On spacing, we are going to see margin and padding. What is margin? What is padding? I want you to realize that there's something happening here. So when you click on this element, you notice there's a dotted line that outlines the entire element. That would be the space allotted to your element. Now within this element, so we have the end stop here and a dotted I. The dotted region is here. There's a space between the element and the actual border of the element, the border being this dotted thing that you see right here. What you need to understand is that the space outside of that border is the margin. So we have one element here and we have another element here, but there's a margin that exists between both elements where the top of this element and the bottom of this element meets. That's the margin. But within the element or within the border, you're going to have some space that you see right here. That is going to be the padding. So margin and padding can be defined in simple terms like the space inside and outside. Now, a good way to think about this is that let's say you meet someone and God forbid they smell very terribly. When they smell very poor or they smell offensive, you're going to want a lot of margin between you and them because you're not going to get very close to their border because their sphere of influence because of their smell is going to increase. And if they are fat, even though they might seem, because the skin is the border in this case, if they are fat, I hope I can say that word. Or let's say that they're plus size. I hope I can say that word. If they're plus size, that's going to mean that they have a lot more padding, space within their border. And that's a good way of thinking about it. There's a tutorial linked below that gives a better, more detailed explanation of more margin and padding. But that's all you need to do. That's all you need to know. If you don't understand, just click on the element, scroll all the way down, go to spacing. You see margin here. Notice there's a margin right here. And you see padding here. Notice there's a padding right here. The margin at the bottom of this is right here, it says. And if we take a look at the padding, it's also going to be pushing out. And we can click right here and that will make it a lot easier. Notice that the margin right here. So let's go to spacing again. We're going to have a margin right here that's pushing away from it. But if we actually add to the padding at the bottom, you're not going to notice it. But what I can do is I can go to the background and change the background to red. All right. And that will make it easier for you to see the margin and the padding. Let's go back here. All right, now padding, that is 6 padding, and margin, let's go with, notice that the red space isn't getting any bigger in this case. That's a space outside the border of the element, that's the margin. Meanwhile, the padding is a space within the border. That's going to make the red space or the background get bigger because the space it takes up is going to be a bit bigger. I notice that now that's changing. Margin and padding. The best way to learn about this stuff is actually to play around with it. Anyway, so we have this going on for us. It's not very bad. We know how to edit. Let's learn how to get media files for our website. Now, what you don't want to do to get media files for your website is you don't want to do this. You don't want to go to Google and say investment graphics. And after that, you go to images and you say, this looks good. And you click on this and you save image and you add it to your website. Do not do that because as it says here, images may be subject to copyright. All right. What you need to do, if you're going to use Google, which you can, I don't recommend, if you're going to use Google, go to tools, go to usage rights and Creative Commons licenses. And this is going to give you, for the most part, not all of them actually, but for the most part, you're going to get pictures here that you can use on your website without attribution, or you can use in your projects without attribution. And what that means is that you click here and you can either acquire the license, click on license details, guys. And it says CCO public domain, Creative Commons 0, meaning that CC 0. So that means that you can use this without attribution. And it explains it right here how this works. Now, what I want you to know is that This is not the best way to go about it because, as you can realize, these are not high quality images by any stretch of the imagination. There are some places that you can go to get royalty free media files for your projects. So let's take a look at that. The first place that you can go is you can go to Pixabay. First place you can go is Pixabay. And as you notice, these are really nice pictures already. Second place you can go is Pexels. This is another place that actually you can get photos and videos. On Pixabay, you can get photos, videos, illustrations, vectors even. You can get videos, music, sound effects, and really good for you guys. The next place you can go is Unsplash. You can go to Unsplash now. I used to like Unsplash, don't like it that much anymore because of this thing right here, Unsplash Plus. The best images aren't free anymore, unfortunately, guys. And I don't know how they always determine what's the best image, but they do, and it's not fun. So that's Unsplash. You can also go to FreePic. This is FreePic for you. This is a really nice website to get a lot of really high quality items. The only drawback is that let's just go with our photos and let's go with money. Since we're doing an investment website, I'm pretty sure that might be important. You have to decide between free and paid, all right? And even when you say you want free, which is why I don't use this website most times, and you click on this image, it's still going to say attribution is required. And then you're going to have to click and say, how do I attribute then since attribution is required? And it's going to tell you how to attribute. Now, if you're fine with this, which is not so bad, you can go ahead and do that. But a lot of times when you add that you got this from FreePic or wherever, it kind of takes away from the quality of your website. So that's the one reason I don't really like FreePic that much, but it does give really great content, really great quality content for the most part. And you can get a lot more than pictures. You can get videos, I believe. You can get vectors, icons, templates. You can even get Photoshop templates as well. So there are reasons why I don't like it, but I admit that it's really amazing. All at the words. Aside from FreePic, you can also go to Icon Scout and Icon Finder, and these websites are going to help you get icons for your website. Let's go to Icon Scout first. Here we are on Icon Scout. You can get the same thing. Lots of animations, illustration kits. Like these are very helpful things for your website. And let's go to Icon Finder. And here we are on Icon Finder. We can get pretty much the same things here. And different websites for different purposes. Now, I'm pretty sure that there are other websites out there. I don't know all of them. If you know any more, you can comment them down below and we can go from there. But for the most part, this is where you're going to go and this is where you're going to get graphics. Now we know where to get graphics. Let's learn what to do after we get graphics because it's not as simple as going to, let's say, Pexels and typing in investment, and we see a wonderful picture. Let's say we see this and we say, let us download, and we click download the biggest version, which is going to be 3072 by 2040. Absolutely ridiculous. Don't do that, right? Why? Because when you download this size, it's going to be too big for the website. Remember, whenever you load a web page, you have to load everything on the page, including the fonts, the colors, and typography. Well, typography is fun. You're going to have to load the pictures and other links and scripts. And the bigger the images are, it's going to take up quite a bit of space, and it's going to make your website slow, especially on mobile. You don't want that because the slower your website, the more people you're going to lose from your website. What you do to keep this is that, to keep your speed while making your website beautiful, is that you're going to download a smaller size. I recommend about 1200 pixels. You can go 1920 if you're excited. And after you download this, so let's just download this image size. After you've downloaded this image size, you're going to go ahead and compress it. How do you compress? You're going to go to tiny JPEG or tiny PNG. Here we go, tiny JPG. You upload the downloaded image here, and it's going to be compressed. Now you want to be somewhere around 250 kilobytes, right? And I think maybe in the future I'll make a tutorial on how to use Photoshop to reduce your image sizes so you can make your website faster. But anyway, this is about 253 kilobytes. That's good enough for us. So you go ahead and download the updated version, which is part 1. Go back to your website. Let me just close all these other tabs to the right. Go back to your website, click here. You're going to add this to your gallery. Replace it. open media library. You're going to upload a downloaded picture. You can just go to upload files, or you can drag and drop from here, and it's going to be uploaded. And now you have something that's a lot better, a picture that's a lot better for your website, because it's not as big. Meaning that's going to make your website a lot faster than if you use a big picture. Now you might say, oh, because it's smaller, it's going to look different because it's compressed. Not really, because a lot of times the image itself is going to have to be resized to fit different parts of your website. So you don't have to worry too much about the look. It's not going to reduce the quality too much. And most times when the quality is reduced, you won't even notice it. All right, so that's it for uploading. Before we even add it to the page, so we've added it to the website and we're going to add it to the page. Before we do that, we need to do what's called image SEO. Now, why do we do image SEO? Image SEO is basically saying to us that, all right, we are going to use our images to get website traffic. Now, you remember just now we went to Google and we typed investment graphics? That is something that's going to allow images from our website to appear in Google. So someone looking for investment graphics will find our website. But we don't want to optimize for investment graphics. We want to look for optimize for something like small business investment options based on what we're building here. So that's going to be called a search term or a keyword. A search term or a keyword, like we've discussed a little bit earlier, is something that you type into Google to get your website, something your ideal client or customer type in Google for your website to appear. And the way that you can do is you can use tools to get keywords and the like. For now, just think about it and say, what would my ideal client type in Google that would make my website appear? Or what would I want to appear for? And for now, we're going to say small business investment options, investment companies, Los Angeles. So what you're going to do with that keyword now is you're going to type it right here in the title. And you're going to type it like this, the hyphen instead of a space between each word. Small business investment Los Angeles. And that's going to be the title. Now we have to do the alt text. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but people who are visually impaired, meaning that they can't see, still visit your website and use your website. So how do they actually see your website if they can't see? They use what's called a screen reader. And a screen reader makes sense, right? Because a lot of the content on your website is going to be fonts. Right? It's going to be text. So words and screen readers can read that and give them an idea of what's where. Good. But what happens when they come across this picture or that? Well, that's a map for crying out loud. But what happens when they come across a picture? The screen reader can't necessarily read the picture, or can it? Here's what it does. It's going to take a look at what's called your alt text to read what should be there for the person who's visually impaired. And the other thing about it is that whenever you go to a website and the website doesn't load properly and the images aren't loaded, so the images aren't displayed, the website hasn't loaded properly, the alt text is going to be displayed in the place of the picture, meaning that even you as a person who can see sometimes will need the alt text to use the website. So what's a good alt text? A good alt text is a descriptor of what the image is like. Now, this could be a lot of things. This could be a suitcase. This could be money. This could be US money. This could be inflation. This could be stagflation, deflation, banking, whatever. We don't know because it's just a suitcase with money or a briefcase with money. It's not suitcase, a briefcase with money. What we're going to do is we're going to make a description for this image as it relates to our website to add context. And for this case, we're going to say, how to get investment for your small business in Los Angeles. All right. How to get investment for your small business in Los Angeles. We are going to copy that and we're going to paste it in the caption and in the description. Now, I don't know if we have to do it in the caption and description, but that is what I've seen the top guys do. Until that's changed, we are going to continue doing that. Let's go ahead and select that. And now we have the image in our website. And we can save and that will be on our website. Pretty cool. All right. So that's it for how to get images and media files for a website. You can get just a video element. It's right here. And you can insert from URL. Let me just grab a video. And you got the URL. You're going to paste it right here and do that. And there you go. So this is a video we posted on our channel a short while ago, 5 reasons your business is failing. And there you go. You're going to have the video on your website, which is pretty cool. Now that we have that, Here's what we're going to do next. We have to learn about website responsiveness. And to do website responsiveness, what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to do it on the home page. Actually, I'm going to keep it right here. So this is a contact page as is. I'm not going to save these changes because the changes are ugly. It was just a tutorial, guys. But what is website responsiveness? Well, website responsiveness, as you might already hear, it's not about talking to your website and talking back to you. It's not responding. That's not what website responsiveness is. Website responsiveness is when you use your website. So this is perhaps a 6.7 inch screen, something like that. Website responsiveness is when you use the website on this size screen for the smartphone, and it looks as good as the screen over here. Now, the screen here that you're seeing in the corner is actually a 27-inch monitor. All right. And someone is going to be watching this video on YouTube on a perhaps 65-inch smart TV. And they're going to be like, let me check out that website. I could perhaps go ahead and check out the website. And then there's also that 15-inch laptop screen that's also going to be used. So that's what responsiveness is. How do you do responsiveness? Well, thankfully, you don't have to recreate the website for every single screen size. That's the beautiful thing. How do you do it is that, like I said earlier, is you just go right here where it says view, click on view. You're going to see tablet view and mobile view. Let's just click on mobile view. And this is how your website is going to look on a mobile. Now, here's the interesting thing. You can click right here and decide that this text is a little bit too big. Let's make it smaller. When you go to the options to edit the block settings so you can change the font size, you're going to notice that the typography is here, the text color is here. For the text size, or font size, you can click here and say, let's go with medium. And that's what it's going to look like on mobile, or you can go with large. The thing that I want you guys to notice is that right now we have highlighted the portrait mobile. And we can also go with tablets, and we can also go with default. Right now, it's just editing what's on the tablet, on the mobile, sorry, and it's highlighted here. And we can continue going through our website. Let me just go ahead. And I'm going to leave the border and background there. We can just continue scrolling through our website. Notice that this is a little bit, it takes up too much of the screen. So you can just click right here on the block. Let's go to advanced. And there isn't much that we can change, actually. Because what I wanted to do is, all right, let's see. I want the block, so you just click on the block and the column. Now in the column, we can change the size. We're going to change the size within the column. So I believe that means we're going to change the padding. And let's just add some padding. All right. And that looks a lot better. All right. I like that a lot more. So we went with 30 on the padding. Notice that I had the space within. That's changed. That's good. And we have some space right here, a little bit too big. So we can just click on general heading for section, scroll all the way down to spacing, and reduce the padding and reduce the margin. And the margin is going to do the trick. We don't need to do too much about the padding, and that's good. But this is just demo content that I added. And we can continue scrolling, and we're going to see the information here. And that's how we're going to do that until everything looks beautiful on the mobile version. After we've completed the mobile version, we can go back to the top of the website, or we can do it at the bottom, doesn't matter. And we're going to click again, and we're going to go to tablet. Now on tablet, we are going to see that this is too small now. So we're going to click here, and we're going to bring this up again. All right. We're going to go to the font size, which is large, and we're going to go with extra large in this case. Or we can click right here and we can increase it as we like. I think 50 is good enough. And we can continue. Yet again, we have that this is taking up too much space. So what I can do is we can just click right here, click on the column yet again. And in the column, we are going to do what's called the spacing. And we're going to add some padding. Let's try 20. And that's good. All right. We keep scrolling, and this looks good. This looks good. This looks good. And we notice that this section takes up too much because it's going to be 3 columns. But let's see. We had 3 columns here and it's become 2. So what we can do is we can click for the entire column that has the 3 columns in it. And we click right here. And the width preset is going to come. Instead of saying 2 columns, we can say this. Or we can go back here, try to change it to 1 column. Or click right here, right? And that's good. So once we click this, we're gonna have the second column go beneath, and we're gonna have the first column with the 3 columns within it spread across, and that's going to make our layout a bit better. We can continue scrolling. I think that's what they did right here as well. And this looks good. This looks good. This looks good. And then now, once we go back to our desktop, everything should be as it was before. And the font is a little bit too big now, but I'll just go to the font size. This is desktop, and that's nice. So I'm just go with that, and that's okay. And now we can save, and that's it for website responsiveness. Website responsiveness here is where we literally just change to ensure that all the website looks as good, as beautiful for the entire website on both mobile, on all of mobile, desktop, and tablet devices. But here's where this sounds simple. It is. It's just a lot of work because after you've done the responsive design on this page and you've done the editing on this page, you've just done it for the contact page. Now you need to go to home, and the home page is a lot bigger than usual. I'm going to do one quick change right here. So we're going to click edit on the home page, and we're going to have to do the same thing on the home page again. I am going to change the background color of this. So I'm going to click right here. And the background, we're going to look for general. All right, so see, general. We're going to look for the background. And the background is here. We're going to change from purple to blue. All right. And now we have to change the color of the text. So we click on the text and text color from black to white. Black to white. And we're going to keep the button at the dark blue that it is. We're going to save these changes. I'm actually going to view the page, and I like this now. So you see, you notice that the dark blue and this here appears the same as the menu. I like that, which is good, guys. That's what I like. And we're going to have to do the same editing for this home page yet again, which means that we have a lot of work to do before our website is finished. And here's the thing, guys, which is this doesn't normally happen for all of our tutorials, but it's going to happen in this one. Notice that when we click this button, we're going to see this sidebar appear here. How do we edit this sidebar for the navigation, which is absolutely beautiful? Here's what you're going to do. Let's just click right there. We're going to go back to our dashboard. On our dashboard, we're going to go to Blocksy and content blocks. All right, guys. And we have a few content blocks right here. This says footer. Now, remember we were talking about the footer. If we view the footer, this is the footer. And we can edit the footer by just clicking edit right here. Now we know how to edit this type of website. It's just elements. All right, so we can edit this part of the website now. So we've completed our footer training. Can close that. What we need though is the canvas, right? So we need to go for the canvas, off canvas menu content. Let's go ahead and view. Ensure it's the right thing we're going to load. And this is actually hit because once we click here, it comes up, home, services, about, etc. Start now, let's shape the future, Not okay, IQ list, all right, that's that. Let's go ahead and close that. Go on, close. And after we close that, we can just go ahead and click edit, all right, just go ahead and close it. And once we've edited this section, I'm going to make a change here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add an image. So you can just type image instead of actually looking for it, guys. Image advanced. Do it right there. Go to the media library. Gonna grab the black logo. Gonna put it right there. This is a little bit too big. Let's click on it. And the width, we're going to go with small, or let's click the gear so we can make it as small as we like. All right, that's good. And that's good, that's good. And we're going to save. Now, after we've saved that, I'm going to go back to the website and I'm going to view the changes. All right, so notice that the Zeilhan is there. So we actually found out how to edit this section. Under content blocks, we do have some more information. It says services, the mega menu. Now the mega menu is going to be right here. This is what the mega menu is. And I love mega menus so much. They're so interactive, guys, because now you have icons that's also helping to navigate your website visitors. And you might want to go ahead and edit this. So how do you edit it? Yet again, you're going to go to dashboard. You're going to go to Blocksy and you're going to go to content blocks. After you've gone to content blocks, you can go to services, mega menu. If you're not sure if that's what you're looking for, you can view it, of course. And you notice, yes, that's it. That is it. All right. And you can just go ahead and edit the mega menu. And editing the mega menu is very easy. It's a lot like doing blocks all over again. But the way I suggest that you do it is just click right here. And it says row. You can notice that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. You click, it's going to tell you which column is where, which column is where, which column is where. After that, you can notice that there's a button here that says view all services, which perhaps is going to take you to the services page. Nope. So I just go right here and /services. All right, that should work, I hope. And you can just go ahead and duplicate this section twice. And then you can click right here. And then this is going to be new mega menu option 1. And then this is going to be new mega menu option 2. Option 2. And we can click right here and change the icon. Now remember, you can get icons from Icon Finder. Not only that, we do have an icon library right here. So you can just do that. And you can click right here. We can go with another one. All right. And let's just go ahead and save this change. Of course, you can edit the text right here. You can add a link. Where is it? Oh, it was here all along. So you click on the mega menu and you can add a URL to it. Let's see if they've added URLs to these. I don't think so, no. You can also add a URL to the actual icon. So you click on the icon and you scroll all the way down and contain a link, and you can add a link right here, all right? Or you can click right here, the entire box, and scroll all the way down. I'm looking for the URL. Just looking, guys. There it is, contain a link, and you can add it. So this is actually just going to go back to Blocksy. It's fine. All right. So this is where I prefer. Just click on the entire box container and add the URL. That means that the entire area for this section is going to be a link. All right. Then now, I'm going to go back to the website. I'm going to visit site. And here we go. Now we have new mega menu options, which is really nice. And we can view all services. Remember, I said that these link to Blocksy. So if you click on it, it's going to take it to the Blocksy website. All right. So not bad. Let's go back to our website. If you want to know how to create menus, guys, just go to right here and go to menus. Or if you're on a dashboard, you can go to appearance and then go to menus. You can view all the pages and you can add to menu. But before you can do that, you need to know how to create a page from scratch, which I didn't teach you. So let's learn how to create a page from scratch and add it to the menu. So you're going to go to new, and you can go to new page, or you can go to pages and you can go to add new page. All right, let's leave. And we can say new page. Here's where it gets interesting. You can click right here. You can go to patterns and headers, and you can scroll through here, see something that you like, and just click on that. And then that's going to be your new page. Now you can click right here. We don't need this. Just go ahead and delete. And you can click again. You can go to patterns, and you can do Blocksy, sure, why the hell not? And let's go with that. Let's do that. And then let's do a call to action. Look for something really nice, and we can go with that for the call to action. And just like that, you have templates in your website. And the thing about it is that you can go ahead and edit all of this as you would like, because you can change the text and the pictures and fonts and color and all that stuff. But I don't recommend doing that because these are just very boring designs for the most part. But apart from that, it's very easy to create your own designs. As we said, you can just add your own containers and sections and elements and do some changes. So that's easy. But we're going to publish so that we know how to create our templates. And the thing about it, guys, is remember that you have to do the responsive design and everything like that. All right, then. So see what's here. We can go back now. Oh, wait, let me save it. Ensure it's saved. Let's go ahead and ensure it's saved. All right, it's saved. Let's go back here. That's a new page. It's called new page, which is strange. Why did I name it new page? All right, anyway, let's go back. Now we can go to appearance and menus. New pages here, or you can view all and look for a new page, or you can search and type new page. Depending on the size of your website, you might need that. Click it, add to menu. You can add it here and it will be just on the menu like normal. Let me show you what that looks like. All right, so here it is, new page, or you can make it a sub menu, a sub menu. Just go ahead and save. All right, and refresh, and there it is. But it's just going to be regular. It's not going to be a mega menu. You have to create the mega menu, guys. So I'm not going to keep this because it's going to mess up the design. But save menu again and refresh, and yeah. So that's that for now. The next thing that we're going to do is perhaps we're just going to wrap up this tutorial where we are. I think we've learned quite a lot. We have spent quite a bit of time here, but it's been good, guys. Thank you. So the next thing that I want you guys to do is I want you to check out the channel, and you can find a lot more helpful tutorials on the channel. We're also going to be doing more tutorials on what to do after you finished building your website. Check out our YouTube channel for more helpful content. What we're doing on this channel is we're trying to help business owners really get going online, generate leads and the like. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them below. And for the meantime, this tutorial right here will be very helpful for you. Thank you guys for watching. Hit subscribe and help us get to 2K subscribers. Thank you guys for 1,000 subscribers. Go ahead and hit subscribe to get us to 2,000 subscribers soon. And see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.